Hey, everybody. Okay, let me get everybody on MX Network on and make sure we live. Okay, YouTube sending out the notification. I think y'all can see me. YouTube be having us talking to ourselves. If you don't know, for like the first couple of seconds, we don't really be live, but the replay make us be live. So we be here talking to ourselves. And I'm talking to y'all, yet I'm still talking to myself. Y'all say something to me. Let me see. Okay, I see Miss Jackie. Okay. Y'all laughing. Okay, so y'all can hear me. I am not talking to myself. All right, everybody. Do me a favor, like this video, share this video, subscribe if you have not, all of that good stuff. Hit the notification bell, you guys. Hopefully YouTube do right. We'll see. We are live, you guys, in several places right now. So there are 2 lives that are going on YouTube. So if you're watching from your cell phone, there is a live that is better for your cell phone. And if you're watching from your TV or your laptop, there is a version of that that's better. Both of them are going live on YouTube. So go to my page and go to whichever one suits you better and how you're watching this. And of course, we are live on MX Network, you guys. So if you don't want to watch the commercials on YouTube and you would like to watch this commercial free, if you are somebody who is watching commercials on YouTube, you can go over to MX Network and you can get your free subscription and watch this live while it's free with that subscription, okay? Or you can get a paid subscription, show your girl some love. Either way it go. But anyway, we have 3 different places you can watch this, okay? And shout out to everybody over on MX Network. Levicia says, and I hope I said that right. I did not slaughter your name. She says, oh shit, live on MX Network. You guys can talk in the chat on MX Network as well. You can give super chats and all of that. It's all the same over there, okay? The big difference is we own that, right? It's not owned by YouTube, okay? So if they cut me off over here because I say something wrong, we're going to still be going strong over there. Just remember that, all right? Somebody says, okay, that's why we get 2 notifications from YouTube. Okay, so YouTube do give you 2 notifications. I don't know. I guess so, yes. They do 2 lives. So it's 2, it looks like 2 separate lives on YouTube, although it is one, live going. So yeah, I didn't know you guys get 2 notifications. Somebody say, okay, this layout is better on my phone. Yes, so that's what it is, you guys. When you see 2, I'm talking to one screen, but it is in many places. And so this is something new that StreamYard has. If you're somebody that streams, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But StreamYard has this, you guys. And so whether you're watching from your TV or from your phone, you can find which one better suits the device that you're on, okay? And of course, if you're MX Network, you can watch from your phone, but of course, it is better suited for you to watch it on your TV, like on Roku, right? You can download the app on Roku and watch us there. We're gonna get into a conversation tonight. I'm probably not gonna drop the link, y'all. I know y'all probably got some opinions, but I can't do it because y'all gonna have me here until the sun come up, and I'm not doing it. Not today. Was y'all on the last one? Who was on the last one? I ain't going to bed till like 10 o'clock in the morning. I ain't messing around with y'all today. Y'all play too much, so we're not doing that. I need my rest. Y'all play too much. Okay. But yes, we have a conversation that we have to have. Some people might be offended in this conversation tonight. And if you do, then that is your problem and your offense. Okay. So we're going to play some clips. We're going to talk about immigrants, but we're going to talk about immigrants in general, but we're going to talk specifically about Black immigrants. Okay. You seen the thumbnail. If y'all do not know who the man on the thumbnail is, that is Shabuzi. Okay. A motherfucker I ain't never heard of until the other day, okay? But now we all know who Shabuzi is. I didn't know who he was, could have cared less before the other day, but he had some interesting things to say, and we're going to take a look at it. And we're also going to go back and we're going to revisit the Nicki Minaj situation because I want to talk about that from another aspect, you guys. Of course, we talked about it the other night, right, and saying what she said, but we're going to come from the aspect of I need y'all to understand that yeah, Nicki Minaj she's an immigrant. Let's be clear. Okay? Let's be clear about that. She's not an American Black woman, and we're tired of non-American Black people speaking on our behalf, representing us as though they are us whenever it is convenient. But when it's not, then they want to make sure that they separate themselves from us. So we want to make it clear that you're not us. You should be separate from us, and that should come from day one. There was a time where we used to try and be, loving with all Black people across the diaspora, but it seems as though we have to make a distinction of who the fuck we is and who the fuck we ain't. Everybody got the right to stand in their culture, their people, and who they are, and you are not us. We're not the same. We're not the same at all. And they've been screaming that about us for years. So we're going to play some clips. We're going to talk about how immigrants actually feel about us. We're going to also even get into the Somalis a little bit, because they have a lot of interesting things online to say about how they feel about Black Americans. So we're just going to take a look at how they feel about us. Okay. And then we're going to tell you how we feel about y'all. How about that? Okay. So if you're watching this tonight and you are somebody that follows me and you are, what I would like to say, is a part of, Pan-Africanism, and you want to meet, we're all alike, and, we all should get along, and we all, love each other and all of that stuff. And what you're saying is rude to us. What I want to say is this, like I say the same thing to white people, okay? That if you're not somebody that I'm talking about, if this does not fit you, if this shoe don't belong to you and you don't have to, wear it, then don't get your feelings hurt, right? Like I tell white people, if you feel that what I'm saying is wrong, what I need you to do is go check yourself first. And then I'm going to need you to go check your other, African immigrant, wherever you come from, Jamaican, Somali, Nigeria, right? I'm going to need you to go and check them. Okay. In general, white people be white people in general. You Black ass immigrants be immigrating, right? But of course, there are exceptions to that rule, right? Some of you don't act like that. Some of you do. So for the ones that don't, if you're offended, what you ought to do is have some respect for how we feel. Stop playing these games, or either have your feelings hurt. Don't nobody care. And if you understand where we're coming from, see, I've had to have this conversation. I think it's a sad day in 2026 that I'm having the conversation with Black people from other places, other Black immigrants, right? It's sad that I have to have the same conversation that I've had many, many years with what we call allies. Them white people that like to show up at our meetings, those Hispanic people that like to show up at our meetings, right? They like to show up everywhere. They like to act like they're on board when it comes to us. They like to act like they care about our issues. But the truth is, they just like to unite with us so that they can use our momentum. They can then push their movement forward off of the backs of our oppression that we have lived and still live, that they have never fucking experienced. And then they take the movement and somehow they make it about them. And then they use all of our energy to benefit them. But when it's something that just affects us, y'all ain't nowhere to be found. I didn't think I was going to have this conversation with other Black people in America. Now, I said other Black people in America. I didn't say other Black Americans, because there is a difference. Okay? So we are going to have that conversation. And people follow me from everywhere. I got people who support me in the LGBTQ community. Shout out to that community, right? It's a lot of y'all that follow me, but I get on here and I talk about what's wrong in the pushing of the narrative of that community. I talk about how all this stuff is pressed on kids and where it is ridiculous. And you know what? There's a lot of them in that community that are like, Michi, I agree with you. I understand that you're not just demeaning or saying anything about me. What you're saying is right. And I agree with you, even though I'm in that group. So if you ain't trying to hear it tonight, go get your foo-foo and get the fuck on. Go get whatever else. Go get your curry and get the fuck on. Because we don't really give a damn about how you feel. Just like y'all don't give a fuck about how we feel. Okay? So let's be real clear in that tonight. And y'all gonna come in here tonight and y'all gonna be sounding off, and people gonna be in the chat talking about FBA, okay, and ADOS. Say whichever one appeases your soul tonight, but we all know that I stand with ADOS. We're not gonna go into the reasons that I don't stand with FBA, but I understand that that's hurting us as well. Not because of the division amongst and other Black people, but the division amongst us and all of the attention being taken from a legitimate, I'm going to say that word again, legitimate organization that actually is and has done work towards the movement, okay, of us receiving reparations. FBA don't do shit but run around online and argue with everybody. And then there's one man who claims not to be the leader, so he does not have to take any leadership role in giving y'all any type of structure and how you take your FBA lineage and how you do something to fuck with it or get reparations. It's a big nothing burger. And it takes all the attention from ADOS that was actually created first for this nigga Tariq co-opted it. You know, I think the most ridiculous thing that I've heard from the FBA side of this conversation is when Tariq caught himself addressing this situation and he's like, you know, when anybody tells you, you know, well, that's your leader, you're following him. I'm not anybody's leader. This is a lineage. So wait a minute. So a man who created a whole fucking term for all Black Americans, he's not the inventor of that. He's not the leader of that. He's not the person that leads folks in that. He is definitely the one that has the trademark for that. He is definitely the one that sells you niggas t-shirts, flags, and everything else and holidays that he came up with that. And y'all just let one motherfucker tell you that this is what we all decide, just like it was another Black nigga who decided to call us African Americans, right? Before that, we were Negroes. So here we go with another label somebody want to slap on us. And then after he slapped the shit on everybody, then he backs up. Well, this is just what we are. We weren't this until you fucking called it that. So be clear, FBA, fuck your leader too, all right? Okay? He's a very divisive motherfucker as well. And we're still, the word is still out on whether he's an op and he was brought into our community to do this on purpose. So there goes your little small dissertation for all the FBAers tonight who want to scream that shit, okay? That is definitely your leader. I would beware of a person who created some shit and then want to move back and say, I didn't do that. Every other ideology that we use, whether it's Pan-Africanism, whether it's whatever we have done to support the Black movement, we have always gone back to the creators of that. Frederick Douglass, whoever the hell we want to bring up, right? Huey P. Newton. Nobody dismisses those people that came up with ideas, but you're going to let somebody tell you that FBA, that's just, it's a lineage. That's just who we are. I'm not down with letting nobody put labels on us, okay? Not even the other niggas. So y'all can take that and tuck that FBA ass shit in your ass. If you go Google FBA right now, what does FBA say if you Google it? We should have a prize tonight. Google FBA and tell me what's the first thing that comes to the top. Let's just be clear. What comes to the top? Did anybody want to Google it? Because the last 100 times I Googled FBA, it was not to look up Tariq and them. And what came to the top of my search said, where are my people who took my boot camp? Where are my online money people? What the hell does FBA stand for? Absolutely. Fulfilled by Amazon, okay? I scream the name FBA all day in my boot camp classes, and we are not talking about lineage at all. We're not. We're talking about how you send products to Amazon and they will ship it out for you. Yo, sounds stupid. Your mom is FBA, whether you know it or not. I know what the fuck FBA stands for. And again, FBA is nothing more than an offshoot of ADOS. So tell me the difference between a foundational Black American and an American descendants of slaves. What's the difference? Because I can surely tell you which one was here first and which one got co-op and which one was fighting for reparations and actually is doing tangible work. I can definitely determine which one that is. Y'all say this shit to me like if I don't know what the fuck FBA stands for. I do. Whether you know it or not, your mom's FBA. No, my mother's ADOS. She don't like that nigga Tariq. My mama don't like that nigga. What is you talking about? Your mom's FBA. So while y'all scream FBA, tell me what's the difference. ADOS is a group. FBA is our lineage, dear. Oh my God. Let's just take a moment and be on this right now too. Can we all have a conversation about the difference of that? You know what y'all do? You regurgitate everything that you hear Tariq and somebody else say without understanding what the fuck is coming out of your mouth. FBA is a lineage. What do you think ADOS is? You dumbass niggas follow this motherfucker Tariq Nasheed. You don't even understand what you're saying. You just regurgitate out your mouth what he says to you. You do know that when you want to fight for reparations, How many of you know that reparations, right, is only given to people who are part of a specific group and the lineage of those people and what their people have been through? Yes. When Asians got reparations during COVID, whether y'all know it or not, didn't those people that were specified that got reparations was because of the hate they say they were getting because of what was going on in COVID? So if you say Asian, that's a lineage out of this country back to some other motherfuckers, right? Follow me, because y'all can't be this dumb. Y'all, and I don't think that it's that y'all dumb. I think I'm a little irritated because I don't like when people talk to me like I'm dumb. I absolutely know the difference of what you're saying. So foundational Black Americans are what, you guys? The lineage of Black people that were enslaved in this country. Whether you want to argue that they came over on a boat from somewhere or they were actually already here. Whether you're in either one of those groups, they were all made slaves in this country. You do realize that the reason ADOS came up with the name is so that they could be specific about a group, about a lineage of people that if you go back to their lineage, their roots are rooted right here in the United States of America. Same fucking thing. The only thing is that one is using that label, that lineage, and being specific about that group of people so that they can politically ask for reparations. Because y'all act like it was an aha moment. You can't ask for reparations for Black people. Do you know how many Black people are in this country that are not of the lineage of slaves? So they are not part of the group that would be eligible for reparations. Do y'all not understand the difference in that? ADOS is an organization. ADS is an organization because they like to hold themselves to a standard. They want to be able to be pointed out and say that they're about the work of reparations. The reason why FBA is not an organization is because Tariq wants no responsibility in structure and providing tangibles and moving Black people towards any fucking thing that will make us better. He just wants to get paid off of a fucking label that he gave y'all. But you niggas don't know the difference. Their organization, we're a lineage. Well, their organization is based on the same fucking lineage to get us reparations. Y'all can't be this stupid. Are you really this stupid? Somebody said, I think he was trolling. If you're talking about the guy that I'm responding to, absolutely not. I hear this shit in everybody else's chat all the time. Every time y'all make an FBA argument, these aren't trolls. This is what the fuck y'all really do think. I've heard this argument a million times. That is not the first time I've heard that. This is why I'm going to, address it, because it's a lot of y'all that think like that. A lot of y'all. Okay? We're tired of people slapping labels on us. It was another nigga that gave us African American. Y'all remember that nigga? That nigga that ended up being an op, just like the new nigga that just gave you a new title. 20 years from now, you'll all learn he's an op. And I'm gonna come back on YouTube 20 years from now just to say, ha, I told you this. Shout out to Freight over here on MX Network for the $5 holler. Says, hey Michi, just for being you in the flesh. We are here trying to function. I know that's right. Thank you for the donation. So I'm glad that we got that over with. I didn't know that I was gonna have to I was gonna have to explain that. That really wasn't the topic of tonight, but I think that it fits well in the conversation that we are having tonight, right? It fits well into the conversation. So it's okay that we started with that, okay? Okay. If your ancestors were here 400 years ago, you are FBA. Well, shit, by those standards, I expected to be a whole lot of Native Americans then that want to jump in on this. Because let them tell it, they was here before the black people got here. They claimed they wasn't black because we got a lot of $5 Indians today. 500, if they was here 500 years ago. So you're excluding any black person that may have possibly been bought over on the theory of a boat. We're excluding all of those black people now? Shut up. You just, the more you talk, you ever heard the saying that if you just shut the fuck up, you might seem smart? And I'm sure that's not how the saying goes. I just know that if you be quiet, we don't know how dumb you is. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Right, they really think they be here teaching us. What is they talking about? They really be here going in. I gotta give it to Tariq. He got y'all motherfuckers well brainwashed. He has taught y'all well. Do y'all know I have watched people argue FBA and say they don't even know who Tariq is? That is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Look, and Tariq's so much of an agent. Do y'all know that he tried to show up at one of those hearings in California, and real black people trying to get reparations told him he was an agent and to get the fuck out, and they ran his ass out of the meeting? Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that clip? I need to go find it. They ran Tariq out of the city. Get the fuck out of here. You're an agent. We don't want you here. For the people who are actually fighting for reparations. You know, ADOS was up in there. Black folks ran Tariq out of there because he's not doing anything but making a mockery of what they're trying to do. But anyway, shout out to the not so smart people. Somebody said I'd be mean, so I'm trying to say nicer words. Shout out to those people. There's a place in my heart in this world for you too, okay? I love you still. Shout out to Walter on MX Network. Walter gave a $15 holler. Somebody said we ready to rock till 4 a.m. I am not. Okay, last time I went live that long, I came over today. I feel like I had a live hangover. And then y'all ain't see me in 3 days. I need glasses. I can't read. I be dyeing my gray hair, and y'all just don't know. I can't do it till the sun come up. I'm getting old, y'all. I need to go to bed. You know how old people go to bed early? I gotta go to bed. I'm already gonna be up till 2. I'm not staying up till 6. I got shit to do tomorrow. Okay, I can't sleep all day. Shout out to Rakia. Okay, I think I got that. I don't think I murdered that. Shout out to Rakia over on MX Network for the $5 holla. I appreciate that. Glenn says, just a question. What's your thoughts on the title of Freeman? Okay, Glenn, we're not going to go into all of that tonight because we got to get into this conversation. I already been here 22 minutes, and there's some people right now, and they about to jump out their skin because they cannot take that I have not got right to the topic. They ready for it. You know, there's a new Instagram media mind. They need this message in 20 seconds. You know how people done logged in and logged off because they like, she need to get to the point. So we won't hold y'all any longer. All the impatient people say, it's your turn. Your number that got picked. We about to get into the conversation, okay? Shout out to hold on though. One more second. Your mama ain't tell you have patience when you was little. Use that right the fuck now, okay? Shout out to Romeo with the $10 over on Cash App for Dude Nation. Shout out to Romeo. Romeo has showed that support and has always said that for the same thing for Dude Nation. I appreciate you. Thank you for all of that support. Okay, you guys. So if y'all do not know who the man is on the front, I didn't know who he was. His name is Shabuzi. Something like that. Shabuzi. He's a countryman. Glenn, we can definitely have that conversation another time. We can. He is a country singer, okay? And his music kind of go hard because I went to look him up. I noticed some things about his, but you know, he all right. He kind of, you know, he make country music worth listening to. We gonna get the brother his credit where it's due. But I'm gonna play the speech for you. He won a Grammy. And he came up and he accepted this award and he had some really ridiculous shit to say. So I'm just going to play the clip for you guys and then we'll move forward from there. We have some more clips we're going to look at too and some other stuff. But I'm going to just play his clip for y'all. But we'll go from there. Let's play this clip. Okay. That's interesting. So y'all heard, right? Literally, actually, literally, actually. You know what literally mean, right? Because literally, you absolutely did not build this country. Okay. Before I forget, let me go over here so I don't wait too long for these. Shout out to you for the $5 holla. I appreciate that super sticker. And we got another $5 holla says it's better to keep your mouth closed and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. That's how we go. Yeah. What he said, that's what I was trying to say to your ass, bruh. The man in the chat. Thank you for that. Thank you for the right words I could not find in the $5 holla. I appreciate it. Now let's have this conversation, right? Let's have this conversation. And first of all, some of the things that he said. I think that it is ridiculous as hell that he got up here to give his speech. And at the time of what's going on in this country, I guess he's trying to show unity with the immigrants, right? Have you guys noticed that lately, since Black folks have been minding their Black business, have you noticed that they're trying to now, in the past couple of weeks, push a lot of Black faces to the front that are immigrants, but they're speaking on the behalf of Black people as though we support this stuff, right? Because we said we don't care. Now they want to make us care, okay? And they're like us. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Nicki Minaj, did she not send her immigrant? Let's be real, immigrant. She's not American. She's not American, okay? That's her lineage and that's her story too. That's why she's trying to get a gold card. She don't have permanent, promised citizenship. Shout out to you for the $10 holla. Flame Your Love Space says, gratitude. You have been a great asset to me. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you for the $10. I appreciate that. Let me see. Let me get this next one. I'm gonna try and be on these super chats mode, y'all. I won't go so long without reading them, okay? And then we got a $2 holla says that ish don't watch Kendrick Super Bowl. Thank you for the $2 holla. Okay, so let me go back in here. Okay, I think that was it. Okay, good. There we go. Let me tell y'all something. This is more disrespectful in many ways. How many of you recall we have Nicki Minaj? Yes, Nicki Minaj recently came out, and if you haven't seen that, we're going to replay that clip really quick tonight too, because I want to touch on that conversation, but from a different aspect than we did the other night, right? In the fact that she doesn't have the right to be speaking up on Black American issues either, which she did. And then before that, after that, we have this so-called fake ass Black Panther. Do y'all remember him? We talked about him not too long ago. So here you have Nicki Minaj, who is this big, artist, and she comes forward as though she represents Black people. This is what everybody wants to say, right? And she talks about how Black women should stop putting down white women just to uphold ourselves to feel beautiful, something that has never happened, okay? You have the Black Panther dude, the fake Black Panther dude, who is completely an agent, and he comes out, and now all over the news media and TV, you catch a Black man representing a historic Black organization who claims that he's out here to give it to ICE and that we should be walking people to work and protecting these people, right? Now we have this Shabuzi nigga, and he up here talking about immigrants built this country. You don't see all the rhetoric from Black people? It's like we mind our business. Now, let me explain something to y'all. If you do not understand this, it is no joke that Black people run this country. And when I say run it, what I mean by that is, if your shit gonna go viral on social media, it's because of Black people. Do you remember the time when TikTok had dance trends and Black creators stopped making up dances and the white people couldn't figure out no dances and they shit was whack? Do y'all remember that? Everybody wants to be Black until it's time to be Black. And now that everybody's being treated Black in this country, right? Now they want Black people to stand up and say, wait a minute, don't treat them like that. Fuck out of here, because we're still being treated like that. And our standing up saying, don't treat us like that, shit work for us. And we ain't never see none of y'all put your lives on the line for us, okay? They're cosplaying Black people for whatever benefit that it gets them. Now let's break down this motherfucker's speech, Okay. First of all, he says that immigrants built this country literally, actually. Okay. Those are matter of fact statements. You know what I'm saying? So they built it. But then in the next breath, his ass says, shout out to immigrants that came here for a better life, a better way, and a better opportunity. So my question would be, how do you come to a place for better opportunity, better freedom, better all these other things in a country that's not already built and established? I know that don't make no sense to me. If you're coming to this country for better, that means you're running from your country to come here. That means you're coming to a place that's already established. You niggas act like America wasn't America before you got here. I just don't understand like the stupidity in that statement. It's very contradicting. You don't come to some place and build it if it's already so built and its infrastructure seems to be so great to you that you are bringing your ass here so that you can benefit in what's built. It wasn't just some blank ass space. Whether people want to admit it or not, whether people like the history of it or not, America was built on the back of racism, white colonizers, and an enslavement of Black people. Now, we can argue whether it was Black people that were already here, whether it was Black people that were brought here, or whether it was a mix. But that's actually what built the foundation of this fucking country. Slavery, racism, and white supremacy. What are you talking about? And then you come here to this country, and then you kiss up to the oppressor. Why Shabuzi didn't give the white man credit for stealing the land and oppressing everybody? Why he didn't do his due diligence and thank them? Oh, let me guess, because they write his checks. They're the ones that allowed him to cosplay Black. The nigga brought up culture? Culture, my nigga? Who created country music? Who created country music? I just need to know. Because it feels like a lot of people don't seem to know. It damn sure wasn't his African ass. I think he say he a Nigerian. Wasn't your Nigerian ass. Your people did not create country music. I don't know. Singing on a porch and singing the blues when our jobs as slaves on the plantation wasn't just to cook, clean, pick cotton, go into the field. We built everything, we cleaned everything, we sewed everything, we entertained every fucking body. We created music. Slaves was playing violins to entertain motherfuckers, not the white people. Black people was on their porch making country music, okay? We was the ones singing hymns and songs while we built the literal, actually, fucking railroads that the trains still roll on today in this country. We built the fucking White House where people signed documents to let you motherfuckers come over here. Well, they also signed documents for you now to go home. I think that the White House should be extra moving on getting very public immigrants that stand on TV and say, you built this country. Donald Trump and Tom Homan should get together and get special agents from ICE to come find Shabuzi ass and send him home for that comment. That's what the White House should do. The 1 hour people built. Okay? They should sign some new paperwork just for you, Shabuzi. You're disrespectful to sit your ass online and say what you said. They should come and just escort your ass home. That's what they should do. I want to know, do Shabuzi got his papers? Okay? Let's read this super chat. I won't go too far. Try and get any super chat. Shout out to you for the $10 holler. It says, Black foreigners probably don't teach their children the difference between them and us. Not an excuse, just an observation. Oh, but I disagree. I do think that they teach their children the difference between them and us. Because if you listen to a lot of conversations that happen within the Black communities from immigrant homes, they will tell you, they've been on my page before and have been honest with us. They come over to this country and they absolutely tell their children, don't you bring an African American Black person up in this house. Don't you bring an American Black man in this house. Don't you marry a Black American woman. They actually completely tell their children the difference between the two. They do not raise their children as though they are Black. They raise their children as Nigerian. They raise their children as Jamaican. They raise their children as all of these other different things that they're proud of, right? Somalis. They're not walking around here claiming us unless they're ready to claim our culture, right? Then all of a sudden they become Black. See, something that we have a conversation in our household that will tell our children, which somebody should have told Shabuzi this, but because Shabuzi doesn't understand our history in this country, if you watch his videos, which I do the copyrights in his music, he's a country singer and he got a whole lot of white girls around him in his videos from the ones I saw with Daisy Dukes on, okay? Somebody should tell Shabuzi that in this country, we have conversations in our house, Black Americans, and we tell our sons to stay away from those kind of women. Because those kind of women, if you reject them, they can lie on you and it'll take your life away. You'll be in prison for 25 years. You never even touched a girl. Or you decide not to call her back and she feels used. So now she screams, you know, I've been this and that. And next thing you know, you in jail. We have seen the story happen time and time again. See, we have those conversations with our children. And while we're having those conversations and telling our children how to be a certain way when you're approached by the police, how to deal with these other certain women when you come about them, and how to conduct yourself in this country because of what stuff we'll face, you know what Black immigrant families come over here and do? They teach their kids to stay away from us. They do. They tell their kids to stay away from Negroes. They don't warn them of the white man. They don't. But as soon as Ahmaud Arbery, right, you get all of these other race groups of people that will come in here and they get murdered by the police. Now all of a sudden we're all Black. Now all of a sudden we're supposed to fight for all of them. But before that, they were never one of us. They never believed they were one of us. They have been raised to be taught you are not one of them. So nigga, don't be one of us when it benefits you. Somebody tell me what makes Shabuzi different. Thank you for the. Why is he any different than Elvis? He want to talk about the culture that comes to America that keeps America alive, nigga. Are you talking about New York or are you talking about America? New York or America? Thank you. Shout out to you for the super stickers. I appreciate it. Thank you for another super sticker and another one. Tell me what's different with Shabuzi and what Elvis Presley did. He want to talk about culture while stealing Black people's culture. He didn't bring his music over here. He didn't bring his music over here. He stole a genre of music that was created by Black people in America. His number one song, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the one that he won the award for is a song that is a sample of an African American, a Black, a ADOS, a FBA. It's his song. So not only did you steal the style of music, your most famous song is the song that you sampled and stole the beat and the music and most of the lyrics to another Black man's song who's a Black American. But you get up here and talk about culture and you don't fucking acknowledge the culture that made you who you are, whose music you stole, and what allowed you to stand on that fucking stage? What? And then you bring up immigrants. Why? Why? So the world watching that could think that Black people support immigrants? Let's be clear. He's not one of us. Black people in America are still minding our business. Black people in America still don't give a fuck. We don't care what Nicki Minaj tell you, what that fake ass Black Panther tell you, or what Shabuzi ass tell you. We don't get no fuck. They're not us. They're not us. They don't get to speak for us. We're sick of people who are not us speaking for us. He gets up here, he makes his statements, and then he comes and he calls himself correcting that statement and he makes it worse. He posts a comment online, something to the effects, I'm paraphrasing, but you get the point. The man says that he didn't mean to, misspeak or whatever, that he was trying to just, acknowledge, his parents and all the hard work that they did. But you acknowledged your mom in the first part of the speech. You didn't have to say, and the last thing I want to say is immigrants built this country. You say this at a time like this? What? Where's ICE when you need them? Somebody, you have Shabuzi's address. Somebody find this nigga address because we can send ICE to his house. This is what I want to know. Where's ICE when you need them? This is what you stand on the stage and say. And then people want to say it's not the moment to say anything. He says he means to say that immigrants built this country and blacks too. Now listen to me here, y'all. You got to understand the psychology of people, how people think, how people talk, how they feel. Now, when he says in his so-called apology, he says, I mean, immigrants and black people built this country too. So what would that tell you? What can you read in between the lines? Y'all got to learn to read in between lines. What he's actually saying to you is, once again, showing you that he doesn't claim being us. Right. He ain't black. Right. That's what he's telling you. Because he represented on that stage for what? Immigrants. He's stating he's an immigrant. His family are immigrants. He didn't claim being black. And when he says, I meant to say immigrants and blacks too, if you're saying too, that means you're not including yourself as a black person. So you're saying you're not black. Okay, good. So stop cosplaying our culture, because we are. And for everybody who might want to jump on here and say, we're not black, that's the problem. No, we're not black. But you must understand, we live in America, okay? And in every country, people have names and labels and social constructs that they give to groups. We may not like it, but that was created out of slavery and everything the fuck else. And people want to use that label when it's convenient for them, but they don't want to use it when it's not convenient for them. This is the perfect example of the saying, everybody want to be black until it's time to really be black. But can we be real clear? This is why I don't understand the disrespect from these immigrants. And this is why I need black people. Fuck 2020 forever. For the rest of the breath in your body. My black people from the ancestry and lineage and the ADOS and your ancestors were slaves in this motherfucker. Don't do another thing for nobody. I mean that with my whole soul. Don't fight another battle. Don't cry another fucking tear. Don't you fucking donate another thing. Don't you do nothing for nobody unless they're us. Stop using our energy for everybody else. Let me tell you why. I learned this a long time ago in the streets, but every time we fight for something, tell me when the fuck it ain't turned around and bit us in the ass. Who do you think made it possible for any immigrant that is in this country to be here? Who did that? Who did that? Who got fucked up? Died, went to jail, fighting for rights. And instead of just fighting for what we deserve, we so worried about everybody else and their rights. If it was not for us, Shabuzi, not a Nicki Minaj, not a motherfucking Somali, okay? None of them would have been here. Somebody said that's a myth. You're just a dumb motherfucker. That's not a myth. That's not a myth. That's not a myth. That's not a myth. You sound crazy as fuck. That's a myth. So all of these immigrants were in our country. There wasn't an actual law that was passed in civil rights that made it more easy for immigrants to come over in this country. You don't know your fucking history and you don't know laws, do you? Black people's fight absolutely made way for immigrants to come over here. And if you don't know that, you don't know what you're talking about. Here you see, this is the problem when people say shit like this. What you must understand is it's why you so upset. They just misspoke. No, because what happens is dumb people like that listen, this is how history gets washed away. by allowing people to buy that bullshit, spread that bullshit, and act like that bullshit is true. See, I find it real offensive that where y'all come from, whether it's hell or high water, y'all like to keep your culture, what your food is, what your history is, what's happening in your country, where you come from, your religion, your bendies on your forehead, your motherfucking food, everything that you have, you like to preserve. But when it comes to our history, what you don't understand, once again, about our history in this country is that our oppressor has done an amazing job at whitewashing and washing away our history. And I'll be damned if you bring your fucking ass up here or you get to walk around in your so-called I'm a black person too ass and try and tell us that the shit is not true. That's true. Immigrants wouldn't be in this country if it wasn't for black people. It wouldn't be. None of you would be here. Okay? None of you. It's amazing to me. Let me ask you immigrants a question. You black immigrants that are in the chat or anybody who wants to say that same shit that he just said. So where were you in Jim Crow? Can all of the black immigrants that were so much in this country, where were you and how many of your relatives became strange fruit on trees? Do you even know what strange fruit is? Do you even know what that word means, what it stands for? How many of you have experienced strange fruit? You black immigrants did not experience none of that. You're a lie. And let's be clear, it wasn't that long ago because my grandmother experienced seeing lynchings and people hanging from trees, and my grandmother is still alive. So how long has it been that y'all have truly been in this country to the extent you are right now? Huh? Our story is not your story. Our history is not your history. Our culture is not your fucking culture. Y'all love to steal it and play in it and then speak on the behalf of all of us as though you represent us. Built this country, you bitch. And let's be clear. Let me go over to MX Network real quick. Shout out to Rakia. Thank you for another $5 holla. Says, I'm surprised you got my name right. Nobody ever gets it right. I had to stop for a minute because I didn't know what that was, but I went to school. I know how to sound our words. I will murder somebody's name. Thank you for that. And I'm glad I got your name right. I find it amazing that people want to come over here and want to dismiss everything that black people have done. They come over here, they look down on us as though we are the ones that are lazy, that we are trash. So even when we talk about immigrants building this country, let's talk about how immigrants help to build some of the infrastructure. Okay, because you didn't build this country. A country is already set up by its constitutions, the way that it runs, its laws, its peoples, its culture, and everything else. That was here before you fucking got here. Okay. But if you want to talk about immigrants who help build some infrastructures here, I think there's a big difference between immigrants who came here, worked underneath the fucking table, got paid illegal wages, and while you motherfuckers took all the construction jobs, guess what happened? You call black people lazy, but our people lost their jobs, right? It was cool for us to build this country when we was doing it in slavery, and we were losing our lives to do it, and our limbs, and being mistreated and being experimented on, and all kinds of shit, right? It was okay then. But then when it came time to pay somebody to actually build more of this country, and you had to give them a paycheck, what they decided to do was allow you motherfuckers to come in here so that companies could pay you illegally, pay you under the table, give you slave wages that I wouldn't even call slave wages, because when our ancestors did the work, they got paid nothing. Okay? So now that they got to pay Negroes, they'd rather paint this picture that we're lazy. African Americans are lazy. Although every time immigrants come into this country, unemployment rates go up for Black people. Not because we don't want the job, but because they'd rather hire your illegal, I'll take anything pay under the motherfucking table. You know, one thing Trump has not done yet, which I don't understand, is that coming after all of the immigrants in this country that are working under the table, you know, that means there are companies that are hiring these illegal immigrants. It is illegal to pay somebody under the table. When Trump gonna come and shut down all of these fucking companies using illegal immigrants? So you want to compare y'all coming in and taking our jobs to say, we help build this country. Nah, bitch, that ain't how it went at all. The reason a Black man can't get no real job in construction is because all the immigrants got the jobs instead. So that's your way of saying y'all help build this country? By putting the Black people that were always here, this is our country, by putting us out of jobs. I don't understand in this day and age, how many of y'all don't understand that narrative? You don't know that that's true. When immigrants flood this country, unemployment rates go up for Black people specifically, because companies would rather hire that immigrant. And if they have to give the job to a white person over an immigrant, the white person might still get the job. The immigrant is going to definitely get the job over you as a Black person. But they'll come here and they'll say that we're lazy. I'm going to play some clips from you and show you some immigrants that are so-called Black immigrants telling you how lazy we are. Shout out to you for the $5 holler. Somebody says, Black first, FBA's built this country. Our ancestors' blood, sweat, and tears designed this country. And these motherfuckers came after all this hard work was done. Absolutely. Absolutely. And let's be clear. We're not going to talk about just the infrastructures or the buildings in this country. I'm going to say it again, the very foundation. If your immigrant ass mama go to the doctor and she go get her a pap smear, or she goes to see her gynecologist, or any of you immigrant motherfuckers, right, that's over here, go and have a baby and birth your baby and go see your OBGYN, you can thank tortured Black bodies for that. See, they learned how to deal with a woman's anatomy and her body, including even men in the healthcare system, because slave owners that were physicians would buy slaves just to experiment on them, torture them without any anesthesia. It's a whole book about it. You motherfuckers come over here and read the fine line on your goddamn green card or whatever the fuck you have. Go read that. Go educate yourself on our culture before you run your mouth. Because when I say we built this motherfucker, I'm not talking about the streets and the roads. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about everything. Everything. All the music you, not now, little crackerjack, boring ass, white person built not a motherfucking genre of music. So when I tell you we built it, I ain't just talking about the infrastructure. I'm not. The systems, the way things are run in society, all of the so-called minority people they throw into these groups, all of that is off the backs of us. They experimented on Black people. We built this motherfucker. Do you know that they took Black people on breeding farms, and once a boy was old enough to make babies, they just made them have children. They made family members make kids with each other. They did all of this to breed more human beings so they could have them as though they were like cattle or animals. Don't come over here and talk about how your ass stole a job from an American person to build up a fucking building for a construction company when the building we're talking about, bitch, looks like that shit I just talked about. Then y'all motherfuckers come over here and get to express all of your religious things. Santeria. Nobody demonizes your Santeria, but let us claim voodoo, hoodoo, Ifa, right? Y'all tell us it's the devil. Our spirituality turns into the devil. You niggas can have sugar skulls and Santeria and every motherfucking thing else, and nobody makes sure shit be demonic. They got cartoons to honor the Day of the Dead. Y'all come here with all y'all bullshit as though you own everything. And it's disrespectful. And they cosplay us and they speak on our behalf. I want y'all to understand that Shabuzi doesn't understand our culture, to speak on our culture, to speak on our people. He has cosplayed. He has stolen. We always talk about other people. Let's understand that he is misappropriating our fucking culture. Let's be clear about that. This is not his culture. This is not his music. Just because he got dark skin don't mean that he not over here stealing people's culture and elevating himself as though it's his. He's doing the same thing. And then he got the nerve to have videos, and all his videos, he got a bunch of white women. Now, this is just a side note. If you go watch this man's videos, go watch some of his videos on YouTube. I would like to ask y'all, when you watch his video, right? I just want to know, because everybody always says that, you know, this is what, shout out to you for the $5. I appreciate that. Everybody always wants to talk about Black women in videos, video vixens, hoes, how we present ourselves and how things are. I actually think that y'all just do that to people because they're Black. Because on his video, there's a whole bunch of video vixen with booty shorts on, Daisy Dukes, except they just singing country music with a little bit of hip hop twist to it and some rapping going on, right? So I just want to know, are these women seen as whores? Are they nothing but sexual objects? Are they in here degrading themselves because they're in this video? Does their country, their culture of people need to come do something about these whores because they represent all white women? I just want to know why it's not the same. Why is it not the same? People always tell you, oh, you ain't going to see no video. Only our culture does that. I was looking at his video. It's a lot of little trifling ass white girls in his video. How come nobody is talking about them? How come when Charlie Kirk was here, when he was talking about culture and over-sexualizing and promoting music, how come he missed Shabuzi video with the white hoes? I just want to know. Because everybody act like that shit don't exist. It's crazy how the shit that y'all try to label on Black people that's negative, everybody do the shit, but it's a Black thing when we do it. It belongs to us. They love to put all the negative shit on us, right? In a negative manner, but with everybody else, it's something completely different. If Shabuzi knew our culture while he was talking his shit, knew our history, he would not have a video in the country with a bunch of white boys and white girls at some little hoedown. Because history tell us they about to drag your ass by the end of that, by the back of that Chevy when this little hoedown is over. That's how it works. That's how it works in America. Like literally. Actually, my nigga, like literally actually in Texas, there was a man that some white people, some country shit, and they decided to take him and tie him to the back of their truck and drag this man down a gravel road until his whole body fell apart. Shabuzi, you don't know that? You got to stay away from them white boys in the country. You'll find yourself hanging from a tree because, see, today, that still happens to our people in Alabama and Mississippi. They're found in rivers. They're found hanging every day, and they still tell us that it's fucking suicide. You want to be a part of this culture so bad? Go ahead. Somebody show Shabuzi what it's like to be Black. See, if Shabuzi knew our culture, he would stop promoting as Black as you is with all that skin tone you got running around with a bunch of white women. Because in our history of this country, we know, baby, that don't get you nowhere good. It might get you gone. Right? You're paying your mama bills today. You might need some money on your books for the next 25 years tomorrow. Or they might just kill you, kind of like how they did Michael and Eddie, in Mississippi, the police, the goon squad. When they kicked in their door, they weren't even on duty. These men were at home minding their business, and they kicked in the door and they tortured them, they beat them, they tased them, they sodomized them. They did all kind of shit to these men, and then they tried to take the life of one of them. And they did all of this because they was Black, but two, because they called themselves living with a white woman. This happened a couple years ago. Shabuzi, I think you need a history lesson on this country and what it's like to really be Black. Because your video implies that you're just a happy ass immigrant who comes over here and you actually gravitate towards white people and other people because you think they're more civilized than us. But the truth is, when they look at you, they think you're a nigga just like us. But we don't. We don't. And we're making this clear mark in the sand, bitch, you not us and we not you. It's disrespectful. It's real disrespectful. Y'all immigrants is just out of pocket. Y'all built this country. Boy, if you don't get the fuck back on whatever fucking camel you rode into this country, you all in your video showing Black coat, you got grills in your mouth. Where that came from? Don't nobody tell me that, oh, grills go back to African kings and queens. Show me in Africa when niggas is walking around with gold grills. That is a part of American Black culture. Y'all see me online. You don't see me when I go, I got a motherfucking grill. Nigga, what we want you to do is put some foo-foo in your video. That's what you do. Put some foo-foo in the video, bitch. Do that. If you in there dancing, come on, bring your culture in with some motherfucking wrapped, whatever you wear, your kente cloths. We sell a lot of them here. When we was in our Pan-Africanism, era, we had there's plenty of kente cloths at the swap meet. Get you some Black kente cloth wearing women to come on in and do that cowboy dance with you and serve foo-foo, nigga, in your video. Show your culture, bitch. Show your culture. Why don't you do that? Just disrespectful as hell. Now let's play this clip again because we have another immigrant and I brought her up the other day about her being disrespectful, but I want to talk about how this is problematic. Once again, cosplaying. I'm sick of Black people that are not us, right? Speaking on our behalf as though they are us because they're not, okay? So we want Shabuzi to be quiet. He made it clear when he said I meant immigrants and Black people too. So he's telling you he's not Black. So nigga, don't be up in the first, what day? Was it the first day of Black History Month? Don't get your ass up on podiums talking about what somebody done built. Oh, Blacks built it too. Now you're not Black? You want a Grammy. Appropriating our music, our culture, our looks, in our country. But you want to talk about the culture of immigrants that make this country rich. So, bitch, why didn't you show us your culture that makes this country so rich? Y'all culture so rich, but all y'all motherfuckers come over here and try to be like us. Even other immigrants who aren't Black. You can't stand us, but all your kids are bumping rap music in your house. They all want gold grills. They all want to be like the rappers, right? Ain't that what they want to do in the music industry? This nigga in country music, and he still brought the ghetto over to the country music. If their culture is so great and colorful in this country, why you come here and steal ours, bitch? Why you didn't present your culture in front of us? You should have been sitting somewhere beating on a drum with some ashy knees, my nigga. I did say that. Yeah. That's what you should have been doing in your video. Okay? Should have been beating the drum in the middle of the floor for the white people to square dance. Okay, with ashy ass knees. That's what you should have did. And we would have said, he's African. We can tell. That we would have known. We wouldn't be offended and we would have known. Okay? Let's watch Nicki Minaj, y'all, because Nicki Minaj has something to say. Let's go back a couple weeks because we have to address this topic again from this perspective now. So let's talk about Nicki Minaj. Let's play this clip one more again.
Something that I've noticed recently is that for little girls, I think that no matter how you look, we should be trying to instill into them to be proud of how they look. Recently, in the media, it's almost been like a push to it's not just making young Black children feel proud of themselves, but it's almost like doing that and at the same time telling other children not to be proud of themselves. And I don't want any child feeling that way. If as Black women,
do y'all see all them white faces in the fucking crowd? This trifling motherfucker on the stage talking to all of these white people saying what she's saying, and they're cheering as though this shit is true. And there's not 1 ounce of truth to nothing she's saying right now.
we felt that we were not being represented and not being admired for our beauty. If we felt like that as Black women, why would we want to do that to other women? Why would we now need to make other people downplay their beauty so that we can feel, no, that's not how it works. I don't need some.
We've heard enough for me to make my point. Now I want y'all to tell me, when the fuck have you heard? Tell me when you have heard Black women in media or anywhere putting down white women to make ourselves feel more beautiful. When has that ever happened? When has that ever happened? It's amazing because I told y'all there's this switch in our country. I don't know if you have seen it, but we're in this era of Black people can be racist too. Y'all haven't noticed the new thing? Y'all haven't noticed the new thing in that? That we're all racist and we can all be racist. So if you don't mind, I'm going to take my time a little bit tonight because I'm not just here venting. I'm trying to educate people who are not educated. We have this definition of racism, okay? And this definition states that racism is anybody who thinks they are superior to another race or group of people. That's not racism. That's absolutely not racism. It's not. It's not. Racism was actually created in this country when we were talking slaves and the oppressor. So the racism part comes in where not only did white people in this country think that they were superior than Black people, but they also used the authority and the power that they had to oppress that other race. Okay? So now, let me give you all, and then people want to argue with me with this definition. The definition used to carry more to it. Now it says, the definition just simply says for a race that thinks they're superior than another. Everybody in their own right should think that their race is the best that there is, okay? And if I don't like another group of people, whether that's a race or a shape or a disability or whatever it is, that is called prejudice. So let's learn some fucking words and some definitions tonight. If you don't like a group of people based off of something you feel about them negative, that is called prejudice. That is not racism. Racism brings things to another level. Racism is not only when you don't like another group of people, you don't like the whole group of people, right? You think you're superior than them, but you also do things to oppress and hold that group of people down. That is the true definition of racism. By that definition, there are only a few groups of people in this country that cannot possibly ever be racist. Everybody can't be racist. Because see, as Black people, we don't own any schools to flood your children in, make sure they don't get adequate learning, and then decide to build prisons based on their 3rd grade reading levels. We don't own any prisons to put your children in to shuffle them by the masses with the school to prison pipeline. We actually don't own the millions and billions of dollars that companies have made that still exist today, from jewelry companies to insurance companies to all kinds of companies, including clothing companies today, that made money back off of slavery, off the backs of Blacks. See, that would be white people. That would be white people, right? But I will tell you that there are other groups of people that come in this country, and I think that immigrants can practice racism because you motherfuckers is so up in the goddamn politics. You're up in all the, you got motherfuckers that's in the government in Minnesota committing fraud left and fucking right. All of that money you're frauding from inner cities and ghettos are affecting a lot of fucking black people. Seem like to me, you think your people are better than everybody else to the point that you're stealing. You're in a position of power. And in your position of power, you are taking from people who are beneath you. You motherfuckers got some racism in you, but black Americans, we might slap the shit out of you. You might even get jumped. You might get your life taken up out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot that could happen to you by a black person. That's not racism, baby. That's called prejudice. That's called we don't like you. And I'm going to even add another word to the word. That's called justified prejudice, because it's a reason why we don't like y'all. And I think that of all the reasons not to like some other groups of people, I think that we kind of got a reason not to. I think it's okay that we don't really embrace white people. Like, you have to show me who you are on your own merit. Because in a general group of y'all motherfuckers, we feel the same way about all of y'all at the same time. Now, one of you might stand out. One of you might be like them. One of you might be okay. But generally, until we get to know that, we don't like none of y'all. And I think you would be a fool to tell black people that if they have any prejudice against white folks, that it's unfair or not right or not founded. You sound fucking crazy. You sound crazy. People should always have the right to feel some way about their motherfucking oppressors. And you'll say, well, white people today didn't create this. What? I will say this, what I said in the beginning of my video. My grandmother is still alive, okay? People being lynched and hung from trees was in my grandmother's day of growing up and being a young lady. She's still alive today. Wasn't that long ago that this shit was going on. So that means that if my grandma's alive, the white man who's somebody else's grandpa and grandma, they're still alive. The people who did the lynching, that means they're here, y'all. They're still alive. And that means if they're dead, their kids that were at the lynching on them postcards, they used to just look up and they be on the postcard watching somebody be hung and these kids ain't bothered. Those motherfuckers is somebody's daddies today, okay? They're somebody's daddies. So we're not, I'm gonna need y'all to quit saying we're not those people. Baby, we're not so far removed from the bullshit that you don't still have generations. So the kids being raised today, their grandfather was doing the lynching, their daddies was watching the lynchings, their mama was cooking dinner after the lynching because that bitch was there too, and you're their children. That's the generation of white people we got today, and you want to tell me you not them? Nigga, we not far enough removed for you to not be them. That's a lie. That's a lie. We're not far enough removed from your racist ass family because people get their fucking perceptions about how they see people in life from their family. So if your grandfather hung niggas, your daddy watched niggas be hung or helped niggas be hung, and then you are born to that person, I'm sure that how they feel about black people gets thrown around in your house a lot. So no, we're not that far removed. This generation of white people are just as accountable as the last. If you don't owe us nothing, bitch, your daddy do. And so do your grandpa and your mama and your grandma, okay? We're not that far removed. So even in our prejudice, that's not racism. It's not racism. Say it again, it's not fucking racism. But it seems like today everybody is comfortable with making, we're the new racist. Everybody keeps telling black people they're racist. And then I have found that there are groups of these immigrants that are black, and now they want to call us racist. They want to say the things that we are doing are racist. How did we become the new racist when the very treatment of how we were treated and what happened to us is what created the definition of racism? But we're the racist ones now? Y'all just gonna flip the script on us, huh? It's us. It's us. We're not the ones in power. And I will tell you that if I was in power, I would do to them everything that they did to us. I would. Some of you would not, but I would. I would. So we know that we're not in power, because if we were in power, baby, let me tell you something. Okay? Let me tell you something. Let me be in that position. I'm completely flipping the script. I absolutely am. But we're not in that position. We don't hold any power. We don't have any systems. We don't have any places to show all of this prejudice mixed with racism against groups of people. We don't have the ability to do both of those. We might not like you. You might get slapped for talking crazy. But even we come into immigrants' businesses and we want things from them. We go into medical practices. We've seen all of this on the social media lately. And you guys have medical practices and you mistreat Black people because you don't like Black people. That's racism because they're coming to you for help as a doctor or a physician and you don't even like them. You hate these groups of people, so you're giving them bad care or you're misdiagnosing them and you're doing it on purpose. See, so you immigrants do have the ability to be in a position to show racism a lot of times. When you're in positions of power, you do look at us like niggas and you use your position of power to mistreat Black American people. Even if you're a Black immigrant, your damn self. Now let's talk about Nikki, because this narrative is that we're racist. I think it's very offensive. I think somebody need to come get Nikki too. Come take this bitch. Where's she from? She a Trinidad. Take her where she belongs. It's not here. Somebody come get Nikki, okay? And take her and her trifling husband and let him go live wherever she's from. I think it is offensive as fuck for Nikki to speak on Black women and white women in culture, especially when you're doing it sitting on stage with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman whose husband was the leader of the most racist fucking movement that I've openly seen in this country that's been accepted and camouflages Christianity, but that's nothing new. So let's discuss that in our history too. The KKK were avid Christians. White people in our history of this country have always believed in Christianity, but they use that Bible to justify their anger. They will murder you and say they can do that because their Bible says they're superior. They will praise the Lord and burn a cross in your front yard. So Christianity has always been hand in hand with white American racism and hatred. Absolutely. Right? But you're sitting on the stage with this man's wife. That's who he is. There's a crowd of white people. Charlie Kirk talked about this woman, specifically said how trifling she was, how she was promoting and pushing sex and all of these different things. And she's part of what's wrong with our community. Then you stand up and disregard our community and you do it on stage with a white woman's hair on your head like you really got 28 inches of hair, bitch. It's not even your hair. You do it standing on a fucking stage talking about beauty and embracing our beauty when you too are conditioned by fucking stereotypes in media that tells you that your nigga hair is not good enough. That's why you put on that white lady wig so you could be more pleasing by eye to this white woman you were getting ready to sit down with and this white audience you were getting ready to pander to. There's a history in that too. Do you know that Black women used to get their hair shaved on plantations and they would use their hair and they would stuff furniture with them? How many of y'all know that? How many of y'all know that? Shout out to you for the $5 holler. Says, what do you think about Chuck Littlejohn and Chad O. Jackson, the MLK report? I don't know the name Chuck Littlejohn. I do know the Chad O. Jackson dude, and I have seen his documentary or whatever he did on MLK. And I will tell you, I absolutely agree with him. And I will not get into the full conversation. Maybe we can have that later because it is, Black History Month. But MLK, he was a sellout. Malcolm X told us many times. Also, I will remind everybody that somebody that was an activist in this day and age and time, everything that we fought against is actually something that MLK's civil rights movement actually put us in these situations. So what I mean by that is that, and shout out to the new channel member. Thank you for getting a membership. Shout out to you in the house. But let me explain something to you. Do you know that when the civil rights movement, just as a keynote, because it'll fit into this conversation tonight, but in the civil rights movement, do you know that when they even did things like the bus boycott, do you know that the boycott was so that they could fight to ride on white buses? Did you know at that time down in the South in many states, there was over don't quote me, it's 200 or 500. I get the number mixed up of a Black-owned bus company. Did you know we had Black-owned bus companies and taxi companies? And we didn't have one bus or two buses. We had hundreds of buses. And that fucking boycott that they did to not ride buses, they didn't ride the Black buses either because they were so gun-ho. Somebody said it was in the 500s. Okay, 500 and some buses. They were so gun-ho to ride on white buses that Martin Luther King encouraged people not to ride any buses until the white folks would let us ride on the bus. But why? When we had our own bus system. We had our own movie theaters. We had our own cabs. We had our own stores. How many of you know that the average Black child was actually more educated and smarter than the average white kid in the school systems? That was a fact. You can go look it up. There was articles, there was things on TV, even white people said it. Black people were segregated in a way that they would come out with Black people when they wanted to, but we owned our communities, we owned our houses, we had our own police, our own, municipalities, and how we voted on things. Our children were schooled by us. They were much more educated. Our Black universities and everything we had were fully Black owned and run by Black people. We did so much better back then in our lives and for ourselves. So everything that the civil rights movement said we needed, it actually took us away and placed us right back in the hands of the oppressor, so our kids could fucking go to school with their kids, so that we could be underneath their rule and their law, so that they could continue to oppress us. Martin Luther King integrated us absolutely into a burning fucking house, and the nigga knew what he was doing. I'm sorry. And a man that's married that claim he a Christian, and then you're walking around at that day and age, you know how racist they were? And you got the nerve to be cheating on your wife left and right with nothing but white women? Man, fuck MLK. That's how I feel. On some real shit. Everything that civil rights movement that happened took from us what we fight for today. Tell me I'm lying. We don't fight to build our own schools? Nigga, we already had them. We don't fight talking about we should have our own police departments. We already had them. We don't talk about having our own busing companies, our own systems, our own things, so that we don't have to depend on other people. We had all of that. And not only did we have it, we were thriving. The civil rights movement took it. And activists today, every ounce of fighting we do is to try and get back what we already had, that the civil rights movement took away from us. It took away our independence, and all it did was bring a bunch of more laws and things to give to immigrants and other groups that were not us. We lost everything in the civil rights movement, even to the point where we came in last amongst other groups of people because of the fight that we put up. Civil rights movement fucked Black people over majorly. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And that's how I feel. So shout out to you for the $10 holler. Says late to the party, but I love you nevertheless. Are you late? And I love you nevertheless too. You here? Thank you. And thank you for the super chat. We got another $10 holler. Says thank you for having me. This soil knows our names. Absolutely. We aren't guests in this nation. We're the foundation it stands on. I know that's right. I know that's right. Thank you for the super chat. But thank you even more for the comment, because you are absolutely right. Beautiful words. Very true words. Shout out to you. Thank you for the super sticker. Let me see. Oh, I think I missed another one. And shout out to you for the $5. Says another example. I need some glasses, y'all. Forgive me. Of immigrants is when they are managers at jobs and make it a point not to hire FBA ADOS folks, but hire fellow immigrants. Absolutely, they do that too. They get into a position of manager. You're right, and they will do all kind of shit to get all the Black people on the job fired so they can hire all of their family and friends. You're not lying. You're not lying. But let's be clear about Nicki Minaj, y'all. I still remember where we are. Right, I answered your question. Thank you, brother. Because it's kind of pertaining tonight when we talk about history. But let's talk about Nicki Minaj and how dare she talk about Black women. Where are my Black Americans, right, that are from here? This is a part of our history, is it not? Is it not a part of oppression in our history? It absolutely is. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate that. Now let's talk about how that history looks. White women have always been made to be the standard of beauty, even if nobody thought they were the most beautiful. They told us that they were. Black women in slavery got their hair shaved all of the time. When I tell you that every ounce of the Black slave was used, I mean every ounce of them. They used your body to birth more babies. They used a man's semen to make more kids. They used the hair on your head. They would shave the women bald as in a way to shame them. And instead of going to get the cotton, right, to stuff your chair with, there are chairs that can be found today that were from back on the plantations. And when you go to reupholster them, they are all full and stuffed with Black people's hair. So they shave their heads. Do you know there was a time that Black women had to wear their hair covered in public because they claimed they didn't want to see their nappy hair? So they made them cover their hair and wouldn't let them wear their hair out because of that. Then we have the cycle of Black women growing up and always being told that they are ugly, which is brought in when a girl grows up in this country and all you ever see is white is the standard of beauty. It has actually crippled Black girls to think that they're not beautiful, to not embrace their Blackness. This is where skin bleaching comes from. And before any of you immigrants speak about that, I want her to shut the fuck up. Because it's the Africans, the Jamaicans, and the people of that nature that I always see y'all bleaching your skin. In America, we're not going to spas to get our skins bleached, okay? We're not doing that. We don't do that. Y'all do that shit to try to fuck to fit in. Black women and Black girls have always been told that you are ugly. Your hairstyle is not acceptable. The way that it grows out of your head, your skin tone is not beautiful. That is not the standard of beauty. They have pumped it in songs and messages and every goddamn thing else until they have all these Black women trying to be something they're not because they don't know how to embrace their own beauty. I think it is sad that it is so many Black women in this country that don't feel like they are beautiful if they don't have their wig on their head. Because you think that if you comb out your fro, sis, you think that shit is ugly. Why? Because in order for Black women to feel beautiful, the absolute opposite of what Nikki fucking said, for white women to feel beautiful, they have always demeaned and downplayed and made Black women feel bad about their beauty in order to make themselves feel beautiful. That's absolutely how that happened. It is not the other way. And for her to stand on that stage and say, why do we have to make, there's not been a white woman in this fucking country from the time she's been born that media and all of the things that are perpetuated out there made her feel ugly, unless, bitch, you just ugly. You just ugly. You're an ugly white girl in your own eyes. But every fucking bitch on magazine covers, everybody that was supposed to be cute, everybody that they wanted you to think was what was acceptable was a white woman's look. That have always been in history when we talk about the beauty of Black women and white women in America. I'm not talking about the rest of the world. I'm talking about right here. Our history that you motherfucking immigrants keep disrespecting, you keep speaking on. If you understood the pain and the fucked upness to have Black women be put in that position from the time they are little girls to be told everything about you is ugly. Your nose is too big. Your lips are too full. Your skin is too dark. Your hair is too nappy. Even to the point where they made Black women believe you can't grow hair. You know how many Black women grow when I'm talking about Black women hair don't grow? Yes, it do. Sis, hair do grow. All hair grow. They don't make products to take care of our hair. They fucking put an all Black hair products. Over 90% of them have cancer-causing chemicals in Black women's hair products. Is that the same for white women? Our beauty has always been attacked so that white women could feel better. What are you talking about? But she wants us to believe that now Black women are going around down talking white women so we can feel better. I've not seen one fucking Black woman talk about Black beauty and Black pride and mention white women in the same video or sentence ever. I've never seen that. Now, what I have seen is Black men try to compare Black women and white women, and you get those niggas who always want to tell you, well, I like white women. We don't give a fuck, boy. Bye. 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 Go on the fuck over there. Okay? Now that's where I've heard it, where Black men try to compare Black and white women sometimes, and then they'll talk about what makes a person better. At the end of the day, if a Black woman responds to that, then maybe she is responding because she's responding to being compared. But no Black woman is going online talking about, I am so beautiful and look at our hair. Our hair is just do the most. Look at my fro and my full lips. White women wish they could be like us. We don't bring them bitches up. We don't bring them bitches up. We do not bring them bitches up. Why are you lying on us? And here goes another person who to the country, she's representing as a Black woman. So this is what I mean. She's cosplaying. You're not one of us. And then you speak on some shit in a way that is so disrespectful because your ass don't really understand the history of that in our culture and the history of America and how that has affected Black women. And to put the exact opposite on Black women when that's actually what's been happening to us all along, that's crazy as fuck to me, right? Once again, though, representing us. So see, this is what I mean by representing. When people see that, do you know what people say? People see that and people will say, see, Black women even agree with that. They want to act like they don't, but Nicki Minaj even said it. That, remember that black lady rapper? She even admitted that's what Black women do. They use people like Shabuzi, the shit that he say. They use people like Nicki Minaj. They use people like that fake ass Black Panther. They use the words they say when they go mainstream to say they represent us, because the voices that are not mainstream, that are our real voices, are not being heard. So people will look at Nicki, and even though she's not one of us, they will say, well, she's a Black woman. And they'll say, well, she said it, so it must be true. They love us. They said it, so it must be true, ass nigga. See, that's the purpose coons serve. They're that one Black person that the people can point to and say, even he said that you guys are A, B, C, D, F, G. Even she said that about y'all. And she's a Black woman herself. He's a Black man himself. So even he said it. Your own people said it's true. See, they like that. They use them for that reason. So this is what I mean, that they're cosplaying and representing us. I would like somebody to ask Nikki to speak for Trinidadian girls. Isn't she from Trinidad? You're a Trinidadian woman. Tell us about how Trinidadian women bleach their skin, how they don't want to be Black, and how they put white women down so they can feel beautiful. Bitch, speak on the women where you come from. Talk about them, because you ain't talking about us. You don't know what you're talking about. And you speaking on us in a negative ass manner with your Black ass up there on the stage. We need to start calling y'all what you is. You a Trinidadian, my nigga. That's what you is. You're not one of us. Disrespectful as hell. And if there's anybody in here, you guys, that feel some type of way, I want to play some more clips for you guys of what immigrants think and say about us. Okay? If you don't think it's real, seeing is believing. I'm gonna let you see some shit. Shout out to you for the $5 holler. Says you want to read something about white women to Blacks. Read they were her property by Stephanie E. Jones Rogers. Yep, read that book, y'all. Right? They were her property. Medical apartheid. There's a lot of shit out there that people can go and read. But we know these immigrants ain't reading nothing. They're barely reading the stipulations on the back of their green card. That's why they think they can come here, talk all this shit, and ICE won't take their ass home. They don't read nothing. Y'all immigrants need to read. Learn to read, okay? I know some of y'all don't speak English or read English. Don't come over here then until you learn, okay? Go get some kind of device to translate for you. But learn to read and read about our history before you keep fucking speaking on it, okay? Because another thing they're doing is they're trying to wash away. A lot of our history is being washed away and dismissed. That's what our colonizer does. They just make history be whatever they want. See, they'll tell you about the civil rights movement, but they won't tell you all that stuff that I just told you. It wasn't until I was grown as hell that I actually found out that we had buses like that. All my life, I grew up listening to media, listening to the lies, listening to the history and the whitewashed version from white people and in our schools. And they always told us that we didn't have any of these things. And then to find out and watch video footage of things that say how true this is, how well Black people were doing at that time. And we were segregated, but we were happy by ourselves. And we would come out and work and do the things we had to do. And we stayed within our communities. And we taught ourselves and we built businesses and we did all of the things that immigrants come here and say, oh, you're lazy. You're lazy. Y'all mad at us because we come here and we build and we work hard. Well, guess what? In the civil rights, before that movement, we worked hard too. And we built our communities and we had businesses and our dollars stayed in our communities, not for a couple hours, not for a couple days, but for months because we spent it with each other. You weren't going to the white man's restaurant, so you was going to the little mom and pop's restaurant down the street that she cooked dinner out of her kitchen. You weren't going to support the white people because we couldn't even eat with them. We cry about how quickly the dollar leaves the Black community. There was a time before civil rights that our dollars stayed in our fucking communities. They even made a whole show about it, how to sell to the Negro. Go watch it. We've watched it on this channel. It talked about how well Negroes were doing, how much money they were making. They were starting to become homeowners. They were thriving like never before. And they were talking about how much the Black community was worth and that they need to stop being so racist and open up the doors so that they can make Black people customers too. And they were telling them the psychology of Black people, how to sell to them. But they have money and this is a huge market we haven't tapped into. So you need to consider selling to the Negro. Nigga, this was a whole fucking TV show in real life. You can go watch it. It's called How to Sell to the Negro. It's on YouTube. Okay? So our oppressor has always lied and whitewashed history and has not told the truth. They're really good at twisting and turning history, manipulating the Bible so that it can be used against Black people, right? We're not going to get into that conversation in depth tonight, but if you've been around here, we done talked about that a lot. Christianity is empowering the white people. We can serve the Lord, be a good guy, and still burn a cross in your nigger ass yard. We can do that, and it's still okay with our Lord and Savior. It empowers them to feel superior and think they're better. Black people get Christianity? Oh, we should pray a little while longer. The meek inherit the earth. Long suffering is what God's plan is for you. It's okay to be in this ghetto. I'll stay poor all my life, never have shit because I'm going to get my mansion in heaven. Even though I don't know why my spirit would need a mansion to lay down, to go to sleep, or be in a bed. None of that makes any sense, but it's okay because for a long time, I believe that bullshit too. It's all right, but I want you to notice the difference in what's been given to us. They always rewrite our history, and it is disrespectful to watch Black immigrants come up here and try to rewrite our history. That shit that Nicki Minaj said is a rewriting and a dismissing of the actual history of that conversation she was having about Black women and white women versus beauty standards in this country and how much Black women have been beat down about their beauty over uplifting white women. That has always been the narrative in this country, okay? Always been the narrative. And then Shabuzi wants you to think that all these immigrants bring their culture. What? All y'all do is take the Black people culture. Y'all let it be Black till it's time to be Black. And now y'all asses is being shot for having guns, for having phones in your hand. You getting beat up by the ICE. You going to jail. They taking you and they ain't showing you their names. They not answering no questions. They don't give a fuck who your mama is, your daddy is. And you get arrested for whatever reason. And they don't give a fuck. Y'all being treated just like us. And we don't care. Just like y'all didn't care. I just want to know, how do it feel to be Black? Welcome to being Black. If Trump did anything, he made everybody in America Black. You know what I'm saying? I guess he is racist because he hates everybody. And now that everybody's a nigga, I guess you could say he hates niggas. Because he damn sure made y'all niggas, everybody, even the white people, y'all niggas too. If you ain't Trump, you a nigga. That's the new America. It's okay. We always been niggas. So ain't nothing new for us. We're used to this. We've learned how to maneuver in the terrain of our oppressor. Absolutely. Y'all the ones who don't. And it's funny to watch y'all cry and struggle and beg and plead. I need y'all to just comply. This is what y'all tell us. And we just want you to take your own advice. Just comply. That's what we need you to do, okay? So Shabuzi and Nikki, when they come get your ass, please just comply. Shout out to you for the $2. I appreciate that. Says they want us gone in the worst way possible. Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. But let's watch this. I want to show y'all something else, right? I want to show y'all something. So we're going to go over to another set of immigrants now, Black immigrants, okay, instead of the two that we were just talking about. And how many of you remember the girl who was a Somali and she did a Jussie Smollett? Did y'all see that? She said that Black people, not Black people, she said that ICE came and kidnapped her and they called her that N-word. You know, she wants y'all to feel like she's being treated this way because she's Black, right? It was stupid. And then she got on to talking about bananas and this, and that. I thought that was funny because she wanted to be Black to get sympathy. He called me that N-word. Oh, now you want to be a nigga. But any other time, y'all don't want to be niggas. We know the Somalis is out in, Minnesota, and they're frauding everybody, daycare, taking all kind of money. They all need to go to jail. They swear they deserve to be there. So let's take a look at how some of them feel about us, because I find it really interesting, because I don't think as Black people, y'all tell me, I don't have conversations about immigrant Black people. Like, I don't walk around in my house telling my kids, if you meet some immigrant Blacks, this is what they is, or this what you should do, or this how you should feel. Like, we don't talk about y'all all at all in our households. I don't. Do y'all do? Do y'all? Because I don't. Okay? We don't have these conversations. But apparently they have conversations about us in their religious services, in their home. Somebody said, yes. You know, wait a minute. Now, you might be talking about some immigrants right now, right? Because of everything that's going on. But as Black people, when you look over our history, Black people in the hood, when have we ever stopped and had, bananas and rice? That was the banana and rice girl. But when have we as Black people had conversations in our house with our kids, telling them, right, not at all, telling them how they should feel about Black immigrants, how they should watch out for them, or they don't like you. We have to have those conversations now. I never forget when I first went to junior college. I went to college at 17 years old. And I went to a junior college in a like really small town in Colorado. It's literally a town, not a city. And so there's no Black people in the town. We were the only Black family that lived there, but there were Black people on the college campus. And it was so funny because when I got on the college campus, I was so happy to see another Black person. And I thought they was happy to see me too. And the first two people I ran into was some Africans. And I'm like, yo, it's some more Black people here, right? I'm happy that it's Black people because I'm coming from Detroit. I'm feeling a little culture shock right now because there's no Black people. There's no Black hair products in the store. There's no Black music on the radio. I'm losing my mind. And do you know that those Africans looked at us like, you're an American? I was like, so you not Black too? Like, we not Black? We here? They was like, you're an American. They looked at me as an American just like they looked at the Mexican that was an American. We're just Americans. They didn't see us as other Black people. Like, they didn't see us and say, oh, there goes some more Black people. They were waiting to see another African to say, there goes another African. They don't see us as them in any kind of way. We don't have these conversations in our house about Black immigrants ain't shit. We don't be talking about y'all niggas in our house. But look how they be talking about us all the time. Let me play a clip or two for you that I need y'all to see. So let's go see at how people feel about us.
Most of the people that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers. They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, most of them were the product of one night stand. One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. You know, I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا. أبناء الزنا. Why? Because man, he has to give up the seed. And because the marriage will limit them, they will go from one to another to a third. You know, subhanallah, it's one of the African American brothers.
Now y'all heard that, right? Y'all heard that. Now my question is, why are you in your worship services speaking about Black people? And do you see the narrative that this man just spun? Most of us are one night stands. Are all of you in the chat? Now, I know that we have a lot of broken families in our community, but everybody has broken families. I want y'all to stop acting like white people daddies is in their house all the way. This is not true. It's not true. Okay? Okay? It's not. But most of us were conceived through one night stands. Damn. If your mama not with your daddy, don't you know who your daddy is at least? That you have groups of people of all races that don't know who their daddy is, but that's not a Black thing. Most of us was conceived by one night stands. Do you hear this shit? Do you hear this shit? My mother and father were married. Thank you. My mama and daddy was married too. I'm just saying they act like Black people don't never get married. Black women don't never get married. Black men don't never get, but what? I was married for 15 years. I know a lot of Black people that are married right now. Why are they worried about what Black people do? He said they are a product of, most of them, of one night stands. That's crazy to label a whole race of people and say that's what they are. But you know that this is what projected on TV, on the news, in the media. And a lot of these Black people that be on here kissing white behind to be in these spaces, from an Anton Daniels to the officer, whatever his name is, to the Hodge twins, to all of these people that are on here, whatever names you guys could think of. It's plenty of them, right? Like, they then spew this rhetoric. And again, like Nicki Minaj and Shabuzi, they look at them and say, well, if that's a black man saying that about other black men, it's true. That's crazy. Why is it that in the black community, why is it they take the lowest of us to represent all of us, right? Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Why does the most negative group of us represent all of us? How come nobody looks at the best of black people? Huh? Because it's crazy to me that people say that. Like, I've lived in a hood. I was raised in the hood. I grew up in all kind of the ghetto, right? But I also, as a grown-ass woman today in my life, live in a neighborhood, okay? My neighborhood is full of nothing but black people. Nothing. There is a one Asian lady, a Mexican lady, but they're the minorities in this community, okay? I live in a really nice community. I live in the Hamptons in Georgia, okay? Golf course across the street. I watch retired black married couples go out and golf on a Tuesday when it's nice outside. All the kids that are walking home from the school bus, they wave, they well behaved. All of the people that drive around here, whether they're driving or they're walking or we're at the mailbox, everybody says hey to everybody. I'm just saying, I've seen both sides. For somebody to tell me like that's how all black people live, what are you talking about? When I lived in the hood, I'm from Detroit, all my family owned their homes and more homes on top of the homes they live in. All my family own homes. All my black family own homes. You know how many other people I know in Detroit own homes? We used to own all of our fucking neighborhoods till a lot of them started raising up the taxes, gentrification. The taxes are so much you lose your house over that, but you've been paid your house off years ago. They have ways of stealing people land. They still do that shit now. But to act like there are no civilized black people, every child is made from a white and one night stand and nobody know they daddy, that shit crazy as hell to keep saying that. And they are in church having a whole conversation about how trifling our race is. And I want you to know, this is not a conversation over a cup of coffee. This is not a conversation between two of them. This is a conversation in their fucking worship. When it is time to talk about how to worship and how to be, they are warning their children, their people, all those men that was listening to him talk like that, they went home. And what you think they told their kids? What you think they told their kids? Them is the people who go home. They talk about us when we're not talking about them. They in their household telling their kids, don't hang out with those black Americans. They tell their daughters, don't you bring no black American boy home. Don't you bring no black American woman home. Y'all stay away from them. They're trifling. They're actually in their household telling their kids to worry about staying away from American black people. They're not worried about the white folks. But as soon as one of you motherfuckers gets shot up like a black American by the police, or you have some injustice, or now that you're getting deported, now you want a boy. Our men can't help you. They're too busy making babies out of wedlock. They can't help you. They're too busy having one night stands. The women are too busy laying on their back. Isn't that what you said about us? So we can't help you. We're too busy being degenerates, right? The fuck would you want a degenerate's help for? We're too busy being unstable, right? Thank you for the $10 holla. David says, that's a great name. David is a great name. That's my son's name. That is my brother who passed away's name. I love that name. Shout out to David. And thank you for the $10. Says, love you for the truth you speak. I love you back. Thank you for that. I got another one. I ain't done. Y'all want to see this other one? We got another one. Let's see what else they have to say. And these are all over the internet. I get these off of TikTok, y'all. If you just go over to TikTok, it's not just the Somalis, it's Jamaicans. When the lady called ICE on the Jamaican restaurant, the Jamaicans was on there letting us all know that they don't like us, that they don't want to be like us. They was calling us racist. They said that we're a certain way. Like, I've never seen Jamaicans hop online and get this upset with white people or anybody else, right? I've never seen that. But they are online talking mad shit about black Americans and how lazy we are. They all give the same same speech that this lady is about to give. Somebody said they all over Twitter as well. See, I'm not on Twitter. There's too many social media platforms. I don't know how the fuck y'all keep up with all of them. I barely be on TikTok. I can't do it. It's too much. But yes, they all over the place. And their narrative a lot of times is that we're lazy and we're jealous of them because they come into this country and they build what we couldn't build and we were already here. This is all of their narrative. They all say the same fucking thing that this lady is about to say. So let's play her video and let's see what her ass had to say. Let's check out another Somali, another black immigrant, right?
They didn't even talk to a Somali person. Have you ever said hi to a Somali person? Because they're literally the kindest human beings, the most hardworking people. You don't know shit about Somali people, but you're here judging, being jealous because they own businesses, they're successful, and they barely speak English, some of us. They get education, they get educated, they change their life. They're not sitting home looking at us. Change your life, do something about it. Jealousy is a disease. Ugh. Seriously, not all African Americans, some of African Americans, I had a conversation with so many African American people and it's always fucking jealousy. How can they come from Africa, Somalia, and how can they own businesses? Yes, every people, every race, every religion, there's bad apples in it. There's bad people in it. Nobody's perfect. But there are so many good people. Okay? Stop being fucking judgmental. Stop putting all of us in one category. Nobody's the same. Do you see these 5 fingers? Are they all the same? They're all different. We're just like that. Don't judge. Educate yourself. Go outside and say hi to a Somali person. Go say hi to a Muslim person. Learn about our deen. Because we are about kindness. And we're not judgmental. We are very welcoming, by the way. And we'll give you some berries, some bananas, some rice, some mango juice. You will love it. It has.
What's up with this banana and rice shit? I guess that's what they eat. What's up with the banana and the rice? Shout out to you. Thank you for the $20 holla. I appreciate that. Sis. Shout out to you for being beautiful and speaking the truth. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Now, let's go back to what this woman just said, right? Right? She says we're jealous. She says that they come in and work hard and open businesses. Okay? I know who's jealous of these people. Can we be clear? Can we be clear? You do all know that when immigrants come into this country and they come to start a business, how many of you know that there are benefits that they receive to start and run that business that your Black American ass will never receive? Does anybody know what those benefits are? Does anybody know? Off out tax dollar. I think Michelle Lee is trying to say where I'm going. If you come and you want to start a business in this country and you're an immigrant, you could come over here and start a business and not pay taxes for the first several years that you have that business. You know, when I stopped being an independent contractor and I shifted all of my stuff into business, I saved some more money. But I have had years where I've had to pay over $26,000 in taxes. Now I made a lot of money, so I did owe $26,000 in taxes. But do you know what I could do if I didn't have to pay that shit every year? Not only do you not have to pay taxes, they will give your ass loans. They will give you the money to go start that business. Immigrants can come into this country and they can apply for home loans. If you think I'm lying, we've been over all of that on this fucking channel over time. We've already looked at it. But you can go and Google home loans for immigrants. They have home loans that they absolutely will approve and give to immigrants to buy a home. All you have to do is have been working here for years and show that you work. You do not have to have a social security number because you're an immigrant. So your credit score doesn't play into any fucking system on whether or not they give you a home. How many black people go to work? How many of you black Americans, you go to work, you have enough money, you're paying ridiculous ass rent. You could definitely pay a mortgage note and your mortgage note to be less than your rent and you know you can handle it, right? But you can't get a home because your credit is not where it's supposed to be. But you're an American, but you go to work, you can afford the home, you can show that, but your credit ain't where it's supposed to be. Then you got fucking immigrants who come in here, their credit don't even matter. They get home loans and it's not based on their credit. You work hard. No, bitch. You come into this country and you get all of these hand-me-downs, all of these benefits, all of these fucking resources. The fucking recent immigrants that just came into this damn country over the past several years, motherfuckers was getting all kind of food stamps, ridiculous numbers that Americans have never seen. Never seen. I know elders who have lived their whole entire life, paid taxes, busted their ass. Y'all do know welfare and benefits come from our tax dollars. That's how the fuck the government get the money. Our taxes. You've been paying into taxes your whole life. You 64 years old. You can't get, you a 64-year-old woman. You living on a budgeted income because you get your social security or whatever, your retirement or whatever. They gonna give you $64, a dollar for each year you is in food stamps. They gonna give you $64. The immigrants, they gonna get $400 for every motherfucking person in their house. What? You can start a business and not pay any taxes, and they will give you loans to start the business, and you don't even gotta pay them back right away. What are you talking about? You can buy homes and you don't have the same obstacles in your way as Black Americans do. But then you come here and you talk to us and you say to us, we're lazy and we're jealous, but we're lazy. That's why we don't have a trade. You don't come here and work hard, bitch. You get a lot of shit handed to you that we don't get. And the reason why Black people don't have jobs when you motherfuckers come into the country, I'm going to say it again, is because they give all the jobs to you. So you being here is the reason why Black people don't have jobs, because before you got here, Black people worked plenty of jobs. Nobody's lazy. How dare you tell a group of people who has built this whole country from their ancestors all the way to up to here, all the work that we have done, all of the free labor that is given every day in prison. Okay, I done told you I drive past brothers every day that's picking up trash off the goddamn ground, and the police done brought them out here and they come from the jails and the prisons and they're doing free labor cleaning up the sides of the roads. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, from the niggas in jail to the niggas not in jail. Who's lazy? Who's lazy? Why don't you stop taking all of the jobs underneath the table illegally, and then other people will have to work instead of lazy? You can't go anywhere. Housekeeping, casinos, fast food, construction, you niggas is all over the place. All over the place. Can't nobody get no job because y'all done took them all. All of them. All the jobs I worked when I grew up, none of those are available to my children, my teenagers, my young adults. Those jobs aren't available to them at all. I'm tired of rolling up to a goddamn fast food and everybody in that motherfucker is an immigrant. Everybody. Everybody. And they all grown as fuck. 30 years old, the whole crew, they goddamn family. Can't now 16-year-old get in the dough and get a fucking job at a fast food restaurant anymore today. Because y'all took all of them too. You know, that used to be the job our kids would go work. Now our kids can't even get a job. I guess they lazy too, huh? It is amazing to me that we get called lazy, but do these motherfuckers understand that every bit of money, every check, every welfare, every food stamp, every free medical insurance, every free thing you come in this country and get from the United States of America, you get that shit from tax dollars that Americans have worked and earned. Not you, but you have the nerve to come in here and say that you got something. Even the resources that you get, you didn't pay into. See, right now, while the government is trying to take homeless people off of food stamps, not give food stamps to foster children who have aged out, they're requiring everybody to go get a job just to keep your stamps when there are no jobs available. Because between you niggas and AI, ain't no jobs left, right? And then they're going to be hungry because they're not going to get them no food. They are actually scrutinizing and fucking over American people right now more than they ever did y'all. And the crazy thing is, the people they're telling we're not going to give you food stamps are people who have probably paid into the fucking taxes of this country. We American. We have worked in our life. We have paid taxes in our lives. The money that you motherfuckers get and that make this country go around come out of our motherfucking checks off the backs of us working every goddamn day. We don't even get a say. They take your money out your check before they even hand you your fucking check. You know, on some pimp shit. I ain't gonna wait for you to pay me. I'm gonna just take it before you even get your money. I already talked to your boss, bro. I already got the money you owe me. So here's what you get left. We've paid into this system. And even Americans now can't get out of this system right now with the fuck we put in. And y'all have gotten way more of that than ever. Now that the immigrants gotta go, it seems like America don't have no love for nobody because they kicking y'all out and they're cutting Americans off. They don't have no help for fucking Americans. But we're lazy. We ain't shit. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I need to put something else on this screen. That's what I need to do. So let me make it real clear. If nothing I done said done told y'all how I felt. I don't care what color you is. I don't care what immigrant you is. I don't care where you came from. Okay? Go back. That's what y'all do. I want Shabuzi to go back to wherever he from, and I want that nigga to go stand on a Grammy stage in Africa. I want him to go over to his Nigerian awards, and I want them to give him an award for the bullshit that he do. And I want him to do it over there with his cultural attire on, with them grills out of his mouth, and with his cultural food and everything that his culture creates. And I want him to say how great his country is and their culture and everything that they create. This is why he wants to be in his homeland. That's what he need to do. How dare you say you're coming to a country that has opportunity? That doesn't sound like an underdeveloped country. You niggas come from third world underdeveloped countries and come over here talking about I'm going to live the American dream, which means there is a country that is already established that you are coming to before you get here. There's stability and dreams that you're looking forward to and tax dollars that will help your bitch ass live and start businesses. But you come here and say that you're building this country? No, baby, the country's already built. That's why you're coming here. It's already been built. You didn't build shit. That's just like me taking my ass over to China to go live for a couple years. And while I'm there, I got a job as a construction worker. And while I was there, we built those 2 buildings downtown. But then I fixed my lips to say, we built China. No, nigga, you just came here and got a job and helped create a building. You built some buildings, bitch. Okay? You paved a road or 2. You didn't build the infrastructure of this fucking country. Not even the freedom and the rights that you come in here and claim you supposed to have. You didn't even build those, bitch. We fought for those. And you get every bit of thing that we fought for that black people ain't afforded. We don't have the right to housing. If y'all don't understand what civil rights are the right to education, the right to housing, the right to things of that nature. Where's your right to housing? Where is it? Because let me be clear to you. Right to housing does not mean Section 8 or living in the housing projects or on welfare. That's not the right to housing. That is placing you in the system. The right to housing is what they did for the immigrants. You want to know what that is? They brought them in here and they give them opportunities to own homes. That's the right to housing. Having a home is ownership. That's what the civil rights movement was about, the right to own. Black people were told they couldn't move into certain neighborhoods. They couldn't buy certain houses. Those were issues back in the day when none of those motherfuckers was here, and we were dealing with that, right? So the right to housing is about the ownership and having a home. They give you Section 8 and housing while they give immigrants the opportunity to own a home. The right to education. Inner cities, children are illiterate and failing like never before. No Child Left Behind ruined the whole entire school system. They build prisons based on 3rd grade reading levels in the inner cities. So when they take 3rd grade reading tests and they see that a bunch of 3rd graders cannot read because there's poor education within the inner cities, Then they begin to build a prison. Nobody says, let's take that money and not build a prison. Let's see if we can get these fucking kids reading skills up and we can give them some more help and some more teachers. They don't do that. See, that's the right to education. Let me tell you what the right to education looks like. The right to education looks like when the immigrants come into this country and then they take all of the buses from the American kids so they can bus your fucking kids into school. The right to education is where even though our classrooms are full, they flood our classrooms with your children on top of the kids that we already have in there and there's not enough fucking teachers. And then they force our children to learn other languages or to have to appease these children who don't understand our culture nor our language so that they can learn. So they come into this country and we watched everybody twist their backs, give a fuck about American kids, push them to the side, and turn around and bring up all these immigrant children to make sure that they were bused in school. They have a right to an education. You know, even ICE was going to school to pick up parents or pick up kids, and they talking about don't come in this school. Why not? Why not? They have police officers in our school. Those police officers arrest our children. They put 8-year-olds in handcuffs. What are you talking about, bitch? Our kids are policed all day when they're in school. It's like a fuck safety officer. He's the correction officer. Shit, a couple of weeks ago, a black boy got tased in his neck twice on the bus at school because the officer at the school told him he had to get off the bus. He was on the wrong bus. He was on the right bus. And he had to get on the bus to get to where he had to go because he had to pick up his little brother. And he tried to explain that. And instead of them figuring out that they was wrong, he tases the boy in his fucking neck. In his neck. He was trying to kill this little boy. See, that's what our children are met with when they go to school. Your children are met with an extra desk, an extra help, and an assistant that speaks their language. Really? So that your kids can learn and adapt and adjust. They have people that will help them in their language, but you won't help American Black children, inner city kids in the inner city. You won't help them when they're struggling to read in the third grade. You just build them a prison. Fuck out of here. Every fucking civil right that we fought for doesn't go to us. The right to vote. Well, if I have to tell y'all that there are so many illegal immigrants that are signed up to vote, they were signed up to vote, they flooded them in here so that they could keep their goddamn votes. Y'all don't know that the immigrants are being counted as votes? So you're not even a citizen and y'all come in here and y'all be fucking trying to backdoor and back vote for some shit and they don't even count our votes. Don't be an American with a felon. You don't come over here and vote because you can't. Our votes don't count. They throw them shits away and make whoever the fuck they want to make. And they use a lot of immigrants' votes to fluff shit up to make it seem like somebody won. And these are all illegal votes. Seem like y'all vote count more than us. So who the fuck really benefited from our civil rights? Y'all asses did. And you come and disrespect the motherfuckers that gave you everything you have? Bitch, America didn't give you that. Black folks gave you that. All the shit you have, and you disrespect the people. You know, the last thing I'm going to say up in here tonight is this. I find it amazing that you come here and you talk crazy about Black Americans. I find it real crazy that you come here and get all of these benefits and you act like you work so fucking hard when, bitch, you don't. Okay? Y'all come in here and you talk crazy and you call us lazy and all of these different names that y'all have for us. But one thing you would never call us is a punk bitch, because I find it interesting that all of you run from your countries where you can't stand up against your motherfucking government. You run and say that your country is destitute and y'all don't have opportunity. And then you run to this motherfucker and you look at us when, bitch, we ain't went nowhere. We've been here fighting our oppressor from day one. And if you give us the option to leave, most of us don't want to go. We'd rather stay here and fight. And not only have we fought for our rights, we have fought for every fucking thing that you have received too. Okay? So if anybody is lazy, it's your ass. You were too lazy to stay and stand against your government, against your oppressor, and make your fucking country a better place to be. So you come somewhere that's already been built up and you claim it as though you're the one that made America the land that it fucking is. Right? The whole time running like a scary ass bitch. And then you come here to get in the mix of another group of Black people and their oppressor while constantly kissing our oppressor's ass and at a 50% rate, bringing your asses into this country saying that you're Caucasian. That's what you click on your shit, right? Because as an immigrant, y'all have the right to choose what you want to classify yourself as. And you come in this motherfucker and you have the nerve to down the people that have been fighting all along. That's why you're here now. And as soon as you get in trouble, look at you calling on the lazy niggas that you have so much problem with. Look at you now, asking us, why won't we fight? Why aren't we in the streets? Why aren't we helping you? Remember, we're lazy. Why the fuck would you be calling on us? And speaking of calling somebody, I want everybody to put this number on your screen, in your phone. Put a motherfucking a contact name next to it, right? Let yourself know it's ICE. And I think that as Black Americans, we should all make it a point to call ICE whenever we see a motherfucker out of line. On all of them. I think Nikki needs to go. Shabuzi needs to go. All of these niggas that ain't real citizens. It's crazy how y'all keep standing up and letting everybody see you here. Take your country music to Nigeria, nigga, and see if they like it over there, okay? Instead of appropriating our culture and then telling us what the fuck we is and we ain't. That's what I say, okay? With that said, y'all, shout out to David. Shout out to the new channel member. And with that said, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all do me a favor, like this video, share this video, subscribe if you have not, hit that notification bell. I will be back later on, not tonight, maybe tomorrow. I ain't going to make no promises. We have some more things that we have to talk about, but we definitely had to get this conversation had and out of the way, okay? And now we're going to get back into some other things that we need to discuss. We're going to go back into ICE. We're going to talk about Minnesota. We're going to talk about all these different laws and things that are coming down. People are talking about wars. There's a lot going on, y'all. There's a lot going on that we should be paying attention to, right? Instead of these people up here who want to constantly make Black America the thing they want to throw out there, even when it's not about us. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Y'all see that shit? Just leave us the fuck alone, right? Just leave us alone. Again, take them grills out your mouth. Represent that foo-foo you be eating, my nigga. Represent y'all culture, not ours, okay? Our culture might be rough around the edges. Our culture was birthed out of pain and slavery in this country. A lot of us don't know where we originated from. A lot of us don't have the names of our ancestors and know where we actually come from. A lot of us do not practice a religion other than the one that was given to us by the oppressor. The food that we eat that we call soul food absolutely was created and incorporated in our lives off of the plantation. Yeah, that's slave food. Doesn't matter where our culture came from. Bitch, it's ours. It's our story. It's the people we have become because of the things we have endured and gone through in this country. And regardless, it's our culture. It's our story. It's ours to live. It's ours to tell. And it's not yours to appropriate or to ever speak on our behalf, change our history, or tell us what the fuck to do. So this week, I will make it a point to call ICE on 5 motherfuckers. And hopefully a couple of y'all will be Black immigrants. I will be calling on y'all too. So that is my goal. You know how some people's goal is not to eat any sweets for the week or to exercise 3 times this week. My goal is to call ICE on 5 motherfuckers. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. So I don't know about the rest of y'all, but that's what I'm going to do. With that said, y'all, like this video, share this video, subscribe if you have not, hit the notification bell. I thank everybody for all the super chats you gave. Shout out to everybody watching on MX Network. If you watch this on YouTube and you did not want to watch the commercials, you can click the link in the video and you can come over to MX Network. You can get your free subscription and you can talk to us in the chat and you can watch it over there commercial free. All right. With that said, I'll talk to you guys later. Y'all have a good night. Unless you're a Black immigrant, I don't want you to have a good night. Have the opposite. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Talk to y'all later.